Hello, everybody. Once again, I'm Liam McCracken Jr., aka Zorbal Chan Less Than Guru, and we're doing an update today. Um, Mars Video Cat is going to jump up here really soon, maybe? There he goes. So, today, I don't have a lot of updates because over the last 2 weeks, 3 out of my 4 games were canceled. So one of them was a scheduled day off. The other two just happened at that time, that day. Things came up and people were not available. So we kind of did not do those. The Earth Dawn one really upsets me. Not that I was mad at anybody, but I was kind of bummed out because I'm really, really enjoying Earth Dawn. The Pathfinder one, we're doing something. Our party got TPK'd last session, and while it was in the dream world and we weren't dead, we got some insanities. I actually really enjoyed it as a player. It was one of those, and as I said in recent videos, our party keeps doing stupid stuff. And when you do stupid stuff, you get stupid rewards. And the last session perfectly summarized that. We were invented and we're going along with a scheme. The enemies, I guess you could say, our opponents, the people that we were trying to bamboozle, they were sort of going along with it, but had some pushback. And one of our players just kind of got suddenly in the middle of things. Once we started getting some pushback, decided that that was enough, and combat was the way to solve things. And yes, it solved things, but it ended up killing us all. It solved it for the other people's benefit, not our benefit. So I actually really enjoyed that. I really enjoy when players doing stupid things result in bad things happening to the characters. So that is something that I actually enjoy. But we didn't have enough people to try to attempt number 2 on that one. So we did a little talking about what might be in our next campaign. The Game Master said this one will probably wrap up in a few sessions, and was talking about some ideas he had, some like pre-session zeros, I guess you could say. And it sounds like it'll be some fun. We will be switching from the Pathfinder First Edition rule set to the D&D 5th Edition rule set. I do have the D&D 5th Edition rules, the player handbook. I do also have read through it, but it has been a few years, and I've never played it, so that will actually be interesting. Yes, I know, what rock have I been living under, but I play lots of games that are not D&D. That's why you don't see a lot of that type of stuff on this channel, except for when I did like my Beck Me review. But having said that, that's kind of what happened with the games that we didn't play. We did play Palladium, and if you're one of the couple of people that watched the playthroughs, you will notice that the last session we had, not yesterday Sunday, but the previous Sunday, was taking place. The virtual tabletop that we used was the Foundry and not Roll20. I have completely shifted over to the Foundry. I do have a video showing how you can set up a any Palladium system in the Foundry. I, again, use a heavily house ruled, home-brewed first edition Palladium Fantasy, and am going through the rewrites, and it is able, the generic role-playing game aid, if you select that as the system in Foundry and you download that, which is a free download, you will get the basic building blocks that you can input yourself. There's no IP attached to it, so it's not like there's any book information, but you can put as much or as little as you want, and you can get a solid Palladium game. It has all my house rules. It calculates everything automatically, and I've put in all the skills myself. And if people go up a level and they get some new skills, they just can drag and drop that skill onto their character sheet. You update the skills like you would on a normal character sheet or in Roll20, and everything calculates. It's a wonderful, wonderful system that I am very happy that I switched. Well, there's a couple of reasons. One is I like having it on my computer. That means if my computer is up and running, which if it wasn't and I'm the game master, then we wouldn't be playing. But if my computer is up and running, then people can access the game. There is the option that you can have it hosted on a server, pay a monthly fee to have that, and you would choose which one of those that you use. Personally, I just want it on my computer. One time, I think it was $50 to buy the Foundry on my computer. No monthly commitment, no monthly payment. I canceled my Roll20 account, paid account. I still have the free one, but it's mine, and I can put as many modules as I want. There's tons of modules now. Yes, a lot of them are for D&D 5th edition. Out of those, some of them can be used game agnostic, and then other ones are just made to be used by anything. There's lots and lots of wonderful modules out there that I just keep adding to. Like I added 5, and then there was another one that was like a little quality of living that's like, oh, that's nice, and then another one, and this does it, and that does it, and it's just really all these nice little things. Everything from when it's the player's turn, that player will hear a little chime happen. So if they're distracted, ding, oh, it's my turn. And then in the chat box, their name appears. Hey, it's your turn. And up on the screen at the top, hey, it's your turn. Letting people know, hey, it's my turn. I probably need to pay attention now. At the start of each round, it does another sound. So, okay, we've started a new round. Just little things like that are really, really nice. And one of the reasons that I like the Foundry, that I've come to really like it. Now, it's not to disparage anybody who uses Roll20. I used it for at least 7 years. I have videos on this channel talking about how to set up Torg games in Roll20, and I still really love that Torg character sheet. That was basically somebody looked at the character sheet that I had done and was like, I could do better than that, and they did by a lot. And I will in no way, shape, or form say anything other than they basically made my character sheet look like a piece of tissue paper after you blew your nose. But they still have wonderful things that Roll20 could do. It's just that system was not benefiting me for my house-ruled Palladium game. They do have a 2nd edition character sheet on Roll20 as well as a generic Palladium system in Roll20, but it wasn't the in-depthness that I wanted. And with Foundry, I was able to find the generic role-playing game aid. I was able to give input and get a sheet. And now that game system that I didn't create the game system. James Huddleston with generic role-playing game aid did. I was able to input data into his structure and make the game fit my rules. And I think that is just wonderful. It wasn't me having to cobble anything together. It was me putting in my rules, whether that was the official part of Palladium or the homebrew part of Palladium. I was able to do that, and anybody who wants to do Palladium will be able to do that. And you can check out that how to build a Palladium system in the Foundry virtual tabletop if you want to look at that. So that's what is going on for the update. And the last thing I wanted to do was, yes, tragedy struck me last week. Saying that, yes, it is half sarcasm because nobody else cares what happened to me because it's such a minor thing. But if you're a gamer, you have that peripheral. You have that thing that's not necessarily a role-playing thing, but you used it for role-playing for years and decades. And this one goes back to when I was 18 years old. 30 freaking years ago. Oh my God, 30? Really? I'm 48. I got it when I was 18. 30 years ago. Wow. Letting that sink in because it just doesn't seem like that. 30 years ago, before the internet was something that you could actually do things on, there were physical stores at the university that you had to physically walk into because there is no online ordering and they didn't just ship it to your house. And you bought your school books there because there was no computers that had the electronic books on your computer, your Chromebook or whatever. And you bought the books there, and they had pencils and paper and things like that, as well as 3-ring binders. Yes, the 3-ring binder, mine broke. It was on the coffee table, and say that it was about like that much. It was kind of just on the edge. And Mars, the video cat, decided to jump, and it flipped and hit, and it split. Now, yes, it's very, very, very easy to either online or go to Walmart or your Staples or whatever and get a replacement binder, which I sadly had to do. This binder has been with me, like I said, since I was 18 years old, 30 freaking years ago, 3 decades. I used it for whatever my current game was that I was mostly playing. I'd put that information and I would bring this. And the thing that makes this dear to my heart, and no other binder at all dear to my heart, is because of this. You would put this on a table, the binder, and just imagine it's happening on both sides, would go, and it would have it open and like an easel. And while there are kind of easel-ish binders, they usually have an extra flap, and they end up and you have to do that type of thing. But then they're lengthways and not heightways. This was a nice little thing. And then when you didn't need it, it looked like a binder. This was made by National Brand, which is still there. It's still a thing. I looked for National Brand, but I cannot find any binders like this. This was 68-533. Even when I was going to that university the next semester, when I wanted to pick up another one, they did not have this. I have looked online, I have looked on Amazon, Googled it, and anytime I type in National Brand, I do not get this thing coming up. And anytime I type in easel, this thing is not the easel that they are talking about. So, yes, very, 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 very sad day for me. So, I want to thank you for listening to that crazy bit. But I'm sure, as a gamer, you probably have something like that. That's not necessarily associated with role-playing directly, but for you it is. And something might have happened to it, might have broke, might have gotten broke, might have faded, or something happened to it. Maybe you lost it. Maybe you went on vacation and it didn't get back in your suitcase or your backpack, and it is now on some tropical island somewhere, enjoying life without you. But if you want to mention in the comments something that might have been like that for you, that would be something interesting. I do want to thank my subscribers. If you're watching this and you want something that's not necessarily always D&D, I sprinkle it in very rarely, maybe a little bit more when I start that D&D campaign. But I do Torg, I do Palladium Fantasy 1st Edition, Earth Dawn 4th Edition talk. Every once in a while I do reviews. I have a whole list of 31-day character creations that have apparently helped people, and that's what this is about. If I can help a few people learn something new or think about something differently, if you don't agree with me, then you know, hey, I don't agree with him on this, so if he likes this, I probably won't. And if he doesn't like it, then I might. So you can try new things. Again, there's lots and lots of D&D channels out there. There are lots of experienced dungeon masters, game masters that probably know a lot more things than I do. I just have my experience with my gaming groups, the things that I've written, that have been published, and everybody has a different perspective, and my thoughts are always constantly changing. Certain things that I will love, I will listen to an idea and I will jump on that bandwagon, and then I'll go through it, and then over time I'll think, that's really good for that system, but I thought it could be used for other systems. And now not so much. Or I really like this part of it, but there's something that's a little off, things like that. So on this channel, there will be lots of different things of where maybe I'm saying something one day and maybe I'm saying something different the next day, and I agree with both of them because it depends. What's the system am I playing? What is the purpose of this game? What is the group that I am playing with and their goals? And all of those type of things can really change the way at least I will enter a game and the expectations I have for that game. So having said that, I want to thank you again. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And until next time, I'm Liam Crafton Jr., aka Zormal Chan, Less Than Guru, and I'll catch you later.